kiss for you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome to my another video on Android app development. And so guys, in this video I will be teaching you on how to create the new beautiful news app using Retrofit in Android Studio. Alright guys, so this will be the part 5, and so let's continue from where we had left. So in our previous part we had done this, we had created this interface named API interface, and inside there we had this URL for our in order to display all the news sources. So for that, let's copy it and let's paste it inside your, and from there, okay, so there you can see we have this news api.org/v2/sources, then question mark, then the language equal to en, and API key equal to this. So basically it gives us the response in JSON format, and it gives us all the sources from where we can display the news. Okay, so for that we need to have models. So for that I have created a models package here. So right click, new Java class, and for that we can have, let's say we name it as website. Press OK. Then inside this okay, so for every website we will have a status and an array list of all the web sources. So for this we can simply say private string status, and then we can have private list source, and for the source we will be creating the class source. So for this we can create a new Java class and we name it as source. Okay, and inside their website, so we can have this array list of type source, and this source will have some of the values. Alright, so there inside our source we have the ID, the name, description, category, language, and country. Alright, so for this, first of all, let's have private string ID, then we have name, description, then we have URL, then category, then we have language, then country. Alright, then we create the constructor. So for that you need to click on generate and click on constructor and press OK, and after that we have a default empty constructor. So for this we can simply say this, and after that we need to generate the getter and setter. So for this we can generate getter and setters. Okay, so here you can see we have all these things inside our source. So after this inside our website, so since we have the list, so first of all let's create or generate the constructor, and after this we can generate the setter and getter. But before that, let's have a public empty constructor. So there you can see now we can generate the getter and etc. So there you go. Okay, so now our model classes are complete. So now we can easily replace our object with website. Okay, so now inside our main activity, what we are going to do is we are going to initialize our first of all we will initialize our recycler view, then we will integrate, initialize the our interface for this. So for that we can simply say here API interface, and we name it into API interface, and then inside this initialize, so there we can say API interface equal to API client dot get API client dot create, and inside this we can write API interface dot class. And okay, so after this we can have an array list. So we can say, or we can say list of type source, and there we can say list sources, and after this we can simply initialize our array list here. So we can say list sources equal to new array list, and after this we can have some listeners for our swipe refresh layout. So for this we can have listeners, so we can create a function. So here you can see after this init, so we can say public void set listeners, and inside this listener we are going to use the swipe refresh layout. Okay, so I think we don't need to have this swipe refresh layout because it will create some complex things here. Okay, and it is also not very important. So let's just remove the swipe refresh layout. So instead of this swipe refresh layout, all you have to do is just use the relative layout. Okay, and just remove it from there, and there you can see you have this recycler view with this relative layout. So you don't need to have the swipe refresh layout. Okay, so here, so I think we don't need the listener for our here. So all we have to do is we just need to write a method that will load all the sources from the URL or the API. So for that we can write load websites sources, and we have this function. So we can create this function here, and inside this function we are going to write the code for to load this. We need to have the we need to load the you can say these sources. Alright, so for this we can simply say API interface dot get sources, and we can use the enqueue method of retrofit, and there we can say new callback, and there you can see we have this callback that have two methods. The first one is the on response and the other one is the on failure. So here inside this on response method we are going to receive the response. So for this what we can do is we can have the response and store it inside our model class. So our model class is website, so we can say website equal to response dot body. Okay, so we have the all the JSON. Let me show you where. Okay, so all this response is now inside this website object. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to check if the response I mean if the response length is greater than 0. So okay, so here we can check if website is not equal to null, and then we can also check if response dot body dot get sources dot size is not equal to 0, or you can say if it is greater than 0. So all you have to do is you just add all this data to our array list. So how can we do? So we can simply say list sources. Okay, so first of all we need to clear our array list. Okay, so we clear our array list, and after we clear it, so we can simply say list sources dot add all, and inside this add all we can simply say website dot get sources. Okay, so we insert this all the we receive the data, the response in the form of array, and we uh, put all this array into our own array list that we have initialized. Okay, and finally, okay, so before that, inside our init, so we need to have the adapter for our recycler view. So for this we need to create a new package name, and for this package name we need to write the method, the package name adapters, and inside this adapters we need to create a new class, and we need to name it as sources adapter. All right, and after this what we are going to do, we need to extend it with RecyclerView dot adapter, and inside this adapter we can say sources adapter dot sources view holder. So we don't have this view holder, so first of all hover the mouse to this and press alt enter, and you need to create class sources view holder. Okay, so after this you need to make it below for clarity, and then you need to extend it with RecyclerView dot view holder, and there you will see that it has an error. So hover your mouse here and press alt enter and click create constructor matching super. Okay, so now the error has removed, but there you have still the error. So all we have to do is hover the mouse here, then press alt enter and click implement methods. Okay, so you need to implement all these methods. So here you have on create view holder, then we have on bind view holder, get item count. So now we will send the context of the activity, and then we also send the array list to our this adapter, and we need to bind it to our recycler view. So for this, first of all let's have the default constructor. So we can say sources adapter, and there we will receive context, and then we will receive the source list, and then we can have it from here like context, and then we will have list source list, and after this we can simply say this dot context equal to context, and this dot source list equal to source list, and after this we can say inside our get item count method source list dot size. All right, so after we have this sources adapter, we can say where, okay, so here we can say, let me initialize this adapter here. So here we can say sources adapter, and we name it as adapter. So here we will say adapter equal to new sources adapter, and there we will pass this, and then we will pass our list sources, and finally we can say recyclerView dot set adapter, and we will pass the adapter here. All right, so now we will pass this empty array to this adapter. Okay, we are sending, but we are setting the adapter, so we will not see anything on the screen. Okay, but after we add this here, and after this we can simply say here, say adapter dot notify data set change. So if we do this, then we automatically load this adapter again. Okay, so that's why we use this notify data set change. So basically the concept is that you send the empty array list to your adapter, and you set the adapter to your recycler view, but after you add after you add your data inside your array list, then you can use this notify data set change notify data set changed method, so that the data is refreshed inside our adapter and you can easily display the data. All right, so there you go. So I think that is enough for this video. So guys, if you like the video, please like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you and goodbye.